So here I am playing Age of Steam, and I'm taking a little bit more time thinking about my moves, not being on camera as much. It's more enjoyable as always, and certainly in games like Twilight Imperium I would have enjoyed them more if I had just played rather than dealt with the camera. Same thing goes for this. I'm able to dig in a little bit deeper and learn it more. Unfortunately, it means it's harder for me to remember what just happened, because I do a couple of jumps. Things are reliant on each other. We're actually in turn 3 now. So the first thing is red passed as their for their player bid action, saying I don't have to go first. They used their special turn order ability. Yellow actually, everybody else bailed out, but yellow paid $1 to go first. They wanted that because they think they've got to build some track. They don't like what they've got. They need to start over somewhere else. They can hook up to that eventually. It might be worth it to them later. Right now, they need to start making some cash. What I forgot was the stock market, and I don't remember who did what, but we got some people with some cash in their hands. Pretty much, it looks like everybody sold a stock. I don't think anybody was sitting on a $5 silver piece at the end of the turn. I'm not sure. But you see the stocks are out there. Yellow's still lagging at 3. Everyone else is up to 4 shares. That's going to be a drag on their production. But clearly Yellow's also in the worst position. So selling out some stocks might be a worthwhile thing. Okay, so player order fell. Red got, because of their turn order position, second. Yellow got first because they were willing to pay. Everyone else kind of got reversed. And then in picks, yellow didn't see anything they wanted to do so badly. What they really wanted was the first build option. Well, they get the second build option this way, and that's good enough. They looked at the board and said, you know, I can live with second, with the couple of things that are open up here and down, the couple of things that are open down here, and then Toronto up there. I got enough options. No matter what, I'm not going to get boned out. So when they looked at everything else, this was the one they wanted, because they can't guarantee anything about anything else. Red got second choice. They also looked and said, you know, turn order wise is most important to me. I'm not that bad at 2. I'm going to up my train. And they did that. They pushed themselves up to a 2 train. And that's pretty important. They're going to be able to come down here. What's this? 1, 2 links between these. They've got a third link here that they might even hook up. And they've got possibilities of expanding this way. So that seems of great value to them. Okay, who went next? Purple. Purple took first build. What does that do for them? Well, the main reason for that is they're looking, they have the cash to hook up into Pittsburgh, and they think that may be their best move at this point. They're kind of cluttered here, and starting over in another direction doesn't make a lot of sense. Another option would be to swing through here. That would cost them 2-5. This will cost them 3-6. Depends on what happens. If red beats them out, hey, that's fine. They can go the other way. Blue. Blue took an urbanization. This looks attractive to them. They get to slap down a new city here. They don't have a lot of production. Nobody else is playing in their world. If they can get more pieces out on the board, that'll help them sustain their little independent area. And then we go to green, who took a first move. This was a hard choice, but the other things just weren't going to work. Engineer. I think I want to build only 1 space anyway. I only have $5. Not a lot I can do there. And production, the cities that I'm hooked up to and interested in are already full. So that wasn't very helpful either. First move is the best thing I can see. It's not terribly interesting to me, but hey, you know, I got to pick something, right? Okay, now we'll be going, and we upgraded Red's locomotive already on there. We go to build track. So, track building. Let's see what we got here. First one to go here was purple. They had the first build action. What did they do? They cut up along the river, paying the extra bucks to hook up Pittsburgh. That's what they wanted it for. Now they've got a nice little track line here. Others, yellow. Yellow took their jump, banged out the Kansas City to de Monnier. And you know, that's the best new open space, and it makes up for what they lost, where they're kind of choking. They could still hook it up. No real huge imperative to do so, but long runs are useful if we can get the trains up for them. At least that's what I'm thinking. They better be, otherwise they're a bad choice across the board. Red shot their way up to Toronto since they can't go down to Wheeling, and they didn't really want to. They like the idea of this big loop that they're getting, or big crescent that they're building over in the east. Purple already went. Blue used their urbanization first before anyone went to put a new city down, and they made sure to get one that didn't conflict with their other roles, so they're more likely to get resources there. Now, with A, 5, and 6, they might have wanted B, but B's already on the board. C and D are used. Where is B? It's down here. So going to the other side seemed necessary. It doesn't really matter what they get. They're all the same to them. They picked E in particular because there isn't anything yellow on this side of the board, and there's I don't know, the blue chit's not that great for them, but some of the others are good. They were considering, so G and H are actually black cities. There are very few black cities. There are less black tokens on the board, so those are kind of cool, but the yellow seemed like a good move at this point. Maybe they wanted to jump into the black, actually. I don't know. It didn't make much difference. They're not planning on this being their end route very often. In which case, maybe black would have been better because it's easier to run through. Silly them. Okay, and then last but not least was green, who just extended one space. They didn't want to spend a lot of money. They're keeping their options open, but they can shoot down to Fort Wayne and keep growing. They'd like to get more cities, though, so it's kind of hard to tell what they're going to do. Okay, these are still kind of a bone because I can't overbuild them. They're not dead-end track. They're completed real track. I can grow them, but I can't divert them from the direction they're in. So they're just going to be this neutral thing in the middle of the board. Where do we go after this? It looks like it's move goods time. And our first move is green. They got the first option. They're sitting on tokens here. They don't have a lot of train. Immediately I say, you know, a 1 link up to a 2 is worth it as long as you're not going to lose the stuff you're hauling, and they're not losing anything they're hauling. Might as well. They'll make more money that way. Well, they'll make the same amount of money, but they have more train now. Of course, they have to pay more when the income comes. And I'll move them up to here, and I'll deliver some of the rest, come back after the income and talk about what all happened. So income was taken. People have played their trains. We can see green is lagging in income, and that's not a good sign at all. I'm not sure why they're doing so poorly. They're only running a 2 train. Did they bump their train up? Because that would explain if they were that far behind. I almost feel like I didn't get them. I think they had first move though, and I'm not sure. All right, well, they look like they're lagging there, and we'll see. And at this point, we collect the actual money, which I should have done already. I didn't. I guess I'll go do that and see what kind of piles we get. These are the tokens we had delivered. Not all that many. A number of people raised their trains. See, blue and purple are both up to a 3 train. It actually didn't help blue that much. They've got a couple of goods that they've left behind now, This yellow can only run on a 2 train. The blue can only run on a 2 train because they get stopped at these cities that are the wrong color. They're certainly cursing themselves for not taking a black one here, given the situation. But anyway, we're going to collect the money and I guess roll the dice for the cities. Well, some new production made it on the map, and I caught myself doing something that maybe I screwed up on the last turn as well. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it on the first turn. I rolled dice and started filling this instead of filling these from that. Well, if it happened, it happened, and that sucks. Overall, it's better for the players for things to be out here if they can be out there. Anyway, if shit happens, it happens. We look at the cash, and some people, like, again, almost nobody made much money. I think yellow actually pulled quite a bit, and if you look, they're at 8, and they're only at 5 off. They pulled $3. That's like huge. Purple and blue, I think, broke even. Green lost $1. Red at 8. They actually gained 2, it looks like. But as the production, as the goods start becoming more scarce, it's going to be harder and harder. And then if you do make it here, if you do end up selling enough shares that you can boost yourself up, you know, into better production, your production starts going down again. Because if you're above 10, it just starts dropping over here in the income reduction phase, which really means there's sort of this cap to what you can make. You can grow, but once you grow too much, there's this diminishing returns, and you still have to pay for those capital improvements you made to either the trains, which if you don't have enough tokens to deliver on the board, could be a problem, or to the shares that you've floated out. And the more shares you float out, yeah, the more money you have to expand, maybe hook up other cities, get better chances at getting something. But if you're competing with all kind of other people doing the same thing, you're going to face, I got to pick that first move option or early in the turn order to get a chance to deliver anything at all. Because, you know, we're seeing here, blue, yellow, and red all compete for this piece. What's going to happen? You know, red's not going to go run one of these. Well, they might run this one, but they're not going to run one of the ones that they just own unless there's a huge monetary advantage to it, when they can take something that other people want too, and kind of starve out their competition by stripping away things. And that's very, very nice and very indicative of the kind of competition that I like to see, that I remember from the old Railroad Tycoon game, when you connect to a city. But this is sort of the natural of the game. This is a kind of competition you just don't see in an 18xx game. You don't see a competition for goods, for being able to be the guy who can actually deliver them. It's kind of like Crayon Rails when you have bidding and auction off the cards, which is an interesting option. Maybe I'll shoot that off sometime, much as I dislike Crayon Rails in general. Anyway, I'm going to load this one up because it's right on time, and we've got some good stuff going here.